Gracie Jiu-Jitsu rocks. Welcome to the Gracie Jiu-Jitsu Rocks podcast, a podcast dedicated to Gracie Jiu-Jitsu and all things Gracie, including self-defense, competition, anti-bullying, women's self-defense and empowerment, nutrition, and most especially, the people involved in Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. This podcast is for the average Joe. It's for anyone who practices, trains, teaches, or just loves to talk about or hear about Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. We'll explore the lives of Gracie Jiu-Jitsu practitioners, how they got involved in the art, and what effect it's had on their lives. So buckle up and enjoy the ride. Welcome to episode 12 of the Gracie Jiu-Jitsu Rocks podcast. I'm your host, Marty Josie, and thanks for listening. Very excited about today's show. The interview is going to be with Brian T-City Ortega, and as many of you know, Brian is about to make his UFC debut in the coming weeks, so very excited to have an opportunity to speak with him. So we'll get to that in just a couple minutes. This episode is dedicated to the Gracie Immersion camp, kind of a recap since I just got back from the camp, and let me just take this moment to say a few words about my experience. And then I have some others I recorded at the camp that they're going to share kind of who they are and where they're from and what they liked most about the camp. But anyway, I am really grateful that for the past 3 years that the camp has been going on, I've been able to make it every year and just have such a great time every time I get to go. As I've mentioned on other podcasts, I'm from that area originally, so it's always great to get back to that area, such a beautiful place. And then we usually build in a family vacation as well, not only with the camp, but my parents live about 45 minutes from Sandestin, and we usually stay about 3 extra days after the camp and hang out with them. So did that during that time with my parents. We got to go fishing and swimming in the creeks and rivers and things like that, which was kind of a good contrast to the beach. But anyway, back to the camp. The beach was beautiful, awesome, couldn't have been nicer. One of the things I like the most, or a few things I like the most about going to the camp is just the people. Also the first-rate instruction. You know, you always learn some great new jiu-jitsu stuff that you can immediately put into your jiu-jitsu game. You know, just the opportunity to meet like-minded jiu-jitsu brothers and sisters from all around the country, all around the world. There was someone from Germany, I know, in Hawaii, and just network or connect with those people. Some of the best people I've ever met in my life are through jiu-jitsu, and I haven't met anybody I wasn't, thrilled to meet and didn't have a really great attitude at the camp. People bring their families, love to do jiu-jitsu, love to have fun, and love to meet other people that are into jiu-jitsu as well. So it's just great getting to meet other people, meeting their families, and connecting with them, either meeting new people or reconnecting with people you've already known but haven't seen for a while. So great experience. The Gracies are always very interesting, very entertaining, and very all that positive energy to be around. This time in the camp, if you missed it, Hinner and Hiron were there and doing their instruction. as well as some of their top black belts from the Gracie Academy, including T-City. And then their wives, Victoria and Eve, were both there helping with the instruction and leading the women's empowered instruction. So always great to be around those guys. It's also fun to roll. They added last year some evening rolling sessions. So not only do you get to start your day with a couple of hours of instruction, come back in the evening and get some rolling done with people you haven't rolled with before. So great experience. If you haven't made it before, I strongly suggest you look into doing it next year. Can't go wrong. You'll really love the experience. My whole family went this year, and my kids. My son Christian has done it a couple of years in the bully proof segment, but my daughter Anna, who's will be 6 next month, it was her first time being able to do it, and she's kind of shy, so didn't know how she would do with it, but she had a blast. The instructors that work with the kids were superb and great at kind of drawing her out and ensuring that she had a great time. So props to everyone that helped, all the CTC owner instructors that were there helping as well. Great bunch of guys and girls. And anyway, can't say enough. Thrilled, still kind of on a high from the whole thing. Again, if you've never made it, make plans next year and you'll have a blast. For everybody that was there, great seeing you, and hope to see you again next year. So let me move on now and let some others that were there just share their short insight on what they enjoyed most about the camp.
Greetings from the Immersion Camp in Destin, Florida, 2014. This is Victor Camacho from the Gracie Jiu-Jitsu Academy.
My name's Chris Fuller. I live in Niceville, Florida, here at the Gracie Immersion Camp. And my favorite thing about it is bonding and rolling with people from other schools I never met and sharing the knowledge.
Hey, this is Jeffrey Howard from the Gracie Immersion Camp. Having a great time here. Favorite thing so far has just been the attitude. It's so awesome to be around 300 people who love jiu-jitsu but are the most friendly and accommodating and helpful and instructive folks that you'll ever meet. It's been an awesome experience, and I'd like to do it again and again.
Robert Moore from Columbus, Georgia, and the thing that we like most about the camp is that it allows the whole family to get together and interact and enjoy jiu-jitsu.
I'm Don Witt from Western Pennsylvania. I think the most striking thing about this camp is just the atmosphere of everybody. The Gracies are so gracious, and it permeates down to everybody, and everybody's here to help and to learn. The family atmosphere is great. Come on down.
Christian Josie from North Carolina, Durham. I'm 9 years old, and my favorite thing about Gracie Jiu-Jitsu Camp was cops and robbers. I'm in the Gracie Bulletproof session. Bye.
Hi, my name is Kevin Gower. I'm from the Gracie CTC in Sterling, Virginia. And what I've enjoyed most about the camp is really the camaraderie from everyone from around the country.
Gracie Immersion Camp, what I like about it is to see people from all walks of life getting together and just sharing one common love. The connection at all levels, both in and outside the mat, is absolutely incredible.
And your name?
Carlos Diaz.
My name's Scotty Dennis, Archdale, North Carolina. The thing I've enjoyed the most about the camp is the great instruction, meeting people from all over the world with the same mindset and likeness as myself, rolling with people all over the place of different belt levels. It's been awesome. The beach, spending time with my family, it's just been a great overall experience.
Hello, my name is Levi Dennis. My favorite part about the camp is meeting all these new friends that we can have fun and do fun games and spend time with my family.
My name's Jeff. I'm from Paducah, Kentucky. I'm from the Hoist Gracie Network, Three Rivers and IQ. Man, this has been great so far. Seeing a lot of new stuff that I've not seen before, and just getting to train with people I've never trained with. It's always valuable. Really enjoying it.
My name's Clay Mayfield. I'm from Benton, Illinois, and I train at a Hoist Gracie Network IQ Jiu-Jitsu. This is the third year I've been at the immersion camp, and I just love coming and training, getting the high-level trainings with Huron and Henner. And probably my favorite thing about the immersion camp is just networking with all the great Gracie Jiu-Jitsu guys and girls from around the world and meeting so many new friends. It's just great to connect with Jiu-Jitsu people.
Ty Best from Minot, North Dakota, and Boston, Massachusetts. I love the camaraderie, the sunshine, of course, there, and the YOLO boards. Fantastic time. Thanks for having me. Can't wait to do it again.
Eric Holland from the Annapolis, Maryland CTC at East Coast Martial Arts. I love meeting everybody from all around the country that trains. We have this common language of Gracie Jiu-Jitsu and just the camaraderie and the connections that we make.
My name is Bill. I live in Tallahassee, Florida. The thing I think I enjoyed the most was seeing the two brothers roll. I had to slap myself and said, do you realize what you're seeing? Two of the best martial artists in the world, and I'm right here 20 feet away from it. That was absolutely the coolest thing.
I'm Bill Odom. I'm from Norfolk, Virginia, and what I've enjoyed the most about the camp is reuniting with my old friends and making new friends on the mat at the Gracie Immersion Camp.
My name is Sean Phillips. I'm from Gibsons, British Columbia, Canada. And for me, the most interesting thing about this camp was to see all the different people from all over the world coming from different places and different villages and towns and cities, but all speaking the same language. And the way we connect with each other was just awesome. And the friendliness and the camaraderie was just very, very, very cool.
Hey, my name is Co McGrath. I'm from Atlanta, train with the Alliance team. I'm glad to be part of the program this weekend, and my favorite experience has been the teaching in the master's cycle. It's been high level, high quality, and cutting edge stuff.
Hey, this is Marty Jennings from Gracie Jiu-Jitsu Tulsa in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I've been asked by my brother in Jiu-Jitsu to give a short spiel on what I liked most about the immersion camp. And on a personal note, it was my 8-year-old son and I's first extended vacation together, and we plan to do that for several years to come, so that was pretty special. On a jiu-jitsu note, it was just the camaraderie, just the very fact that so many people could come together from all over the world, from all different types of organizations, whether they be Gracie or Machado or some other jiu-jitsu organization, and train and learn and operate together on the mat so safely that just continues to blow me away. The other thing was actually meeting not only the other BJJ practitioners and GJJ practitioners, but their families as well. So that's always really nice, especially for those of us that are kind of out here in kind of remote locations, to actually get together and actually share ideas and talk about what's really important to us, which, family, jiu-jitsu, and things like that. So having a blast, and I plan to attend that for many, many years to come.
Hey, Gracie brothers and sisters. My name is Mike Lynn from Bushy Martial Arts Academy out of Richmond, Virginia, also out of Williamsburg, Virginia. I just want to let you guys know that Savannah and myself participated in the Gracie Immersion Camp in Florida, and it was a great, great opportunity to be able to see everyone, see the Gracie family and the Gracie around the world, and meet new members too as well. Perfect time to be there, beautiful weather, beautiful water, great instructions. It is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be able to participate in the event. This is our second year doing it. We're looking forward to the next one. And hopefully maybe the next one will be in further up the East Coast. But it is a great, great opportunity. So many things to do, so many things to talk about. If you missed it, plan to be participating in the next one. But so much fun. I can't say enough what Gracie family is just doing to the world. But it is a life-changing experience, and hopefully everybody else will be able to witness it and participate with it in the future. Thank you. Thank you to the Gracie family, and thank you for what you have done to the world.
This is Ty Gay, black belt from Henry and Hedon Gracie. And just about what I liked about the immersion camp, and what is there not to like? Fun in the sun, techniques that are the best in the world. But really beyond that, the coolest thing about the immersion camp is the connection that we all get to make with each other. We don't all get the chance to be in the same room at the same time because we live all over the world, but it's one day a year, or 3 days in this case, that we can all get together, share ideas, and connect. And I think that's the most important part about the Gracie Immersion Camp. The moves are great, of course, bar none instruction, and the most beautiful place in the world. But it's also beautiful because of the connection. Gracie Jiu-Jitsu for life.
Okay, thanks everyone for sharing. And again, if you didn't make it this year, try to make plans next year to be there so you can experience it for yourself. I also want to quickly acknowledge and congratulate the people that got promoted at the camp. I know a few people got new stripes on their belt, Eric Holland, Scotty Dennis, and Chase Hill. There might be one or two more that I'm not thinking of right now, and if so, if I let you out, I'm really sorry. Hopefully I didn't. And then people that got promoted to purple belt were Chris Rattay, Sean Phillips, Ty Bess, Steve Jonkus, and Dave Johnson. So congratulations to them. Everybody did a great job, and congrats for all the hard work you've put in. Okay, let's move on to my interview with Brian T. City Ortega. So T. City is one of the black belt instructors at the Gracie Academy, and just a phenomenal person. He's been doing, not only is he world class at jiu-jitsu, he has been doing MMA for the past 4 years or so. He started with the Gladiator Challenge and then moved on to the Respect in the Cage organization, RTC, where he earned the title, the championship in that organization, before moving on to the RFA, which is the Resurrection Fighting Alliance organization, and he won the title for that organization as well. And now it's time for him to move on to the UFC, and very excited for him in doing that. So we'll be watching him, of course, as he moves through and takes on the UFC, if you will. So I met Brian at the immersion camp a few years ago, and he struck me right away as someone that's just very well grounded, down to earth, has lots of positive energy. He was phenomenal working with the kids. You can tell he's just passionate about that, and just an outstanding person. I can't say enough about him. In an age when dealing with the UFC, in an age where so many of the fighters have this kind of punk attitude where they're trying to act like they're the toughest guy around, it's refreshing to have someone like Brian T. City Ortega, who is humble, shows a lot of respect to those around him, is confident, but just displays an awesome attitude about life, about jiu-jitsu, about fighting. And he's an excellent role model for kids as well as everyone in the jiu-jitsu and fighting world. So much respect for T-City. Very happy I got a chance to meet him, and even happier that I was able to do a quick interview with him. So let's meet him now. Okay, I'm here with Brian T. City Ortega, and thank you very much for talking with us today.
Thank you for having me, man. Appreciate that.
So you've been pretty busy lately, Brian. Tell us what's been going on with your life.
Man, we've been busy just signing with the UFC lately, and we had a fight scheduled with Diego Brandao, so we trained hard for that. Unfortunately, got canceled, and we just have our new signed fight July 26th in San Jose.
Right on.
To fight Mike De La Torre.
Awesome. Now, leading up to this, you recently won the title for the RFA. Sorry about that. Yeah. So, what was that like, winning that title?
Winning that title meant a lot to me. It's another goal that I put in my life, to say I'm going to be a champ one day. When I won the Respect in the Cage belt before, and that was stage 1. Stage 2 is the RFA belt.
Awesome.
And to fulfill that RFA goal, it meant a lot to me, and it was not easy. It was a hard 5-round fight, and man,
it was a heck of a fight.
It was a hell of a fight.
From a spectator, I was just like, wow, look at that, back and forth, everybody going for things, defending things, and just awesome display of fighting skills. So it sounds like you've got a plan, and you're working it, and you're right on track now, moving into the UFC.
This is stage 3.
Stage 3.
Stage 3. That's our stage. My coach James Lurson told me that's stage 3. You got 3 stages: stage 1, 2, and 3. The big one is 3.
Awesome.
So now, if we can take the UFC belt one day, which is my ultimate dream come true, then I'll be super happy.
Awesome. I'm excited for you. I know you're going to do well with that. So you were talking a little bit. I was talking to you the other day, and I was noticing how much more muscular you were looking. You were telling me about you had recently added weights and what.
Well, after the last fight, I was upset because I couldn't get up. I was trying to get up and get up and get up, and I couldn't, and I got forced down. Even against the cage, although he was smaller than me, he seemed to put more pressure on me. So we decided to go back to weights, go back to a 100% strength and conditioning camp, which I've never done before. I just did running, traditional boxing, and jiu-jitsu. Now we're doing the extra hard work, the heavy weights, and we're getting right on track to be explosive, right? Because in the UFC, it's no longer a jiu-jitsu match, is what I'm realizing.
Right.
Yeah, I can't be in the bottom, although it looks cool for the jiu-jitsu fans. On the judge and the fan perspective of view, right? It looks like you're losing. Although the jiu-jitsu, we know what's up. We know we're not losing. We're defending everything. But when the crowd sees you in the bottom, it's considered as losing. So we don't want that just for the sake of a loss.
Absolutely.
And so we have to train to be more explosive.
So, yeah, someone can simply just hold you down and get a win from that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you get arrested, just holds you down. That's it.
Exactly.
And then pretty much 3 rounds of that, it's over.
So not only you've been doing bench pressing and those kind of weights, but you've been actually putting plates of weights on your midsection and doing grupas and things like that.
Yeah, we've been doing some good training.
That's
pretty cool.
cool.
A lot of hip, like hip thrusts, a lot of weights on my hips, a lot of shoulders and arms. And
pretty cool.
It's pretty much, and a lot of explosion. A lot of people just holding me down and me getting up, and so far, this is the best I've ever felt.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome. You're ready. Who have you been training with, not only with your jiu-jitsu, but specifically with the MMA and the striking, things like that?
Usually I spar at Black House, right? Train at the Black House, and they have a lot of good guys over there. We have a couple guys from like Jungle Fight Champion and a couple guys from the UFC. So usually Friday is my spar day, and the rest, it depends on who's there, right? But usually it'll be my coach, James Lurson, it'll be Henry Gracie, it'll be Hidon Gracie, so pretty much the Gracie brothers and a couple of the Lurson brothers,
Mm-hmm.
And we just work mids, train, and I go to Anderson Silva's gym. So I work there with the guys. Like Anderson Silva has one of his boys named George, and George has been helping me out with some stuff, because him and Anderson started. So
awesome.
he I've been grateful to pick up on some of those things.
In great hands.
Yeah, so from what I have around is great hands. A lot of good training partners. And we see like Brendan Schaub in the house. We got Jake Hillenberger, Mark Munoz, Ronda Rousey comes by.
Right.
So we have a lot of big names that are already in the big shows. Machida, of course, Machida. We have all these guys that are in the big leagues. And, I'm doing good against them and a great training with them, So I feel really confident going right in my training camp and going up to this fight.
Awesome. If you win this next fight, I know it's probably up to the UFC, obviously, but is there anybody that you would like to fight MMA after that?
My first goal is, I'm just a newcomer. I can't really, I don't really have a name to be calling out people or have that power or that leverage yet,
Okay.
So what I want to do first is get these first 4 fights out of the way, perform my best, and I just want to show the UFC who I am and what I'm capable of, And if Dana White likes me and if fans love me, then it'll be perfect.
Awesome. So you're known for your triangle submissions.
Yeah.
Obviously, your nickname T-City.
T-City, baby.
That's right, T-City, baby. You got the nickname obviously from catching so many people.
Mm-hmm.
But who came up with the nickname? How did that happen?
Henry came up with the nickname. I was a little kid, always in the bottom of the fight.
Yeah.
Always training with bigger guys. I was a little punk kid in the adult class trying to choke them all out. And I would get it. The only way I came up was I can't arm lock no one, I can't choke no one. I just triangles. That was it.
Nice.
So we were bowling one day, and Henner on the when you have a little screen name when you bowl.
Yeah.
So Henner put Triangle City. That was my name.
Yeah.
So he was calling me Triangle City for a while, and I said, wait, this is too long. Imagine saying Brian Triangle City Ortega. That was like too long. And I fought with that name a little bit in the amateurs.
Yeah.
And then finally I said, yo, forget Triangle City. Just put T City.
Right.
So T
Just
City's
shorten it up a
better.
bit,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I shortened it up, and then ever since like 17 years old, that's just my name now. They don't call me Brian. They just say, "Yo, T City, can you do this? Yo, T
That's
City,
great.
what's up?
That's
T
great.
City, let's go hang out." So it's pretty cool. Even the kids here at the camp that we're teaching, they're all like, I told them, "What would you rather call me, Brian or T City?" They all said T City.
Nice.
So that's
nice.
become my second name lately.
That's what my son was saying. Hey, and my son was here in the Gracie camp, immersion camp, and Brian was heading up the kids program, which he does pretty much every year so far, right?
2 years.
2 years.
The first year I didn't do it.
And you're awesome with kids, man. Just totally great. And my son was fortunate enough to be in it this year, and he couldn't say enough about you. He's like, T-City's great. T-City's great. So you really have an impact in a great way with kids. For
Well,
sure.
that's the whole plan that we have, you know, especially having Henner by my side. You know, I really learned to mimic him and become my own version almost of the way he teaches. And at the end of the day, I'm just a big kid, really. You know,
Awesome.
I'm 23 years old, and when I see them have fun, I think I have as much fun as them, if not more. So when we play games, you trust me,
You're right
I'm the
into it,
biggest
huh?
kid in the
That's
whole
cool.
room. You
It
know?
really shines through, and Henner and Huron have kind of become like big brothers to you, right?
They're like my big brothers.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's
Really taking you under the wing.
Yeah, well, they're taking me under the wing, and they showed me the ropes, and they showed me the different world, right? A better way to live, a healthier way, less problems, less drama, just a better life, to where you're just happy all the time, and you're training and you're living good. You know, no reason for all this. Life gets tough, you know, but why make it harder on yourself? And this is the way I found out to pretty much, you know, my way to vent, you know,
Awesome.
through jiu-jitsu and helping kids out and pretty much putting a positive input in people's lives.
Excellent, man. And you're definitely making a difference, making an impact. So I know you probably don't have much time to do anything else besides jiu-jitsu and now MMA, but do you do anything else off the mat? Do you have any kind of hobbies or anything like that?
Yes, and this is why I give a big shout out to Black Belt Surfing, BBS.
Yeah.
When we're not training, we're not doing anything, we're surfing. It's another way, right? So because the gym's closed at times, and then sometimes, let's say we get tired of training, especially if you're a fighter. You do a lot of camps. You train hard for a camp. Your body can only take so much. You train like 4 days out of the week when you're not in serious training, just to stay in shape. So what you do on the side is on the weekends or on Sundays, we go surfing.
Awesome.
Especially California, you know.
Yeah.
So we surf at the Redondo Beach Breakwall, and it's pretty much one of the best meditations out there. There's no better way than being kind of what we say, baptized by the ocean every time we go in there.
That's cool.
So it's perfect.
Sounds very liberating, very freeing.
Dude, just you in the
Super
ocean.
centered.
Forget your problems, forget this. You in the ocean, you in that wave, you catching that wave, riding it. If you
Ah.
fall, get back up. It's beautiful.
That's awesome, brother. All right. I know we are a little push for time, so I want to just say, what's the most important thing or aspect about jiu-jitsu to you, and how has it really affected your life, studying and teaching jiu-jitsu?
And the biggest thing for me was the way it gave me confidence in a positive way. Because, you know, I used to fight before, I get a couple fights, or just, you know, it's a different mindset. And what happened with jiu-jitsu is, and through Henner, of course, and James Lurch and all my coaches and all my mentors, was this world of training, fighting, and just mixed martial arts changed my whole life. I think differently. I'm a different person now. I have positive ways with kids and with adults, and it really kind of molded me into the person who I am and who I continue to want to be and grow up to be like one of these guys, you know? So I want to be an OG like my coach, and at the same time I want to be a master in jiu-jitsu and any martial art like Henner. So I'm blessed, and I'm so thankful that I really had this change happen to me in my life, you know? And I couldn't be more thankful for that.
All right, before we close, Brian, anything else you want to tell us about jiu-jitsu, MMA, your life, anything that you want to share in closing?
I just want to give a big thanks to the Gracie family, and a big thanks to James Lurson for really taking me under the wing, you know, because these guys didn't have to do that. And at the end of the day, of course, it's up to me, and I have to listen, you know. And that's what my coaches say. As long as you listen, you won't go wrong. It's when you start kind of, relying on your own wisdom, right, as you think you have, is when you go wrong. So I just want to thank them for giving me good ways and to stand my ground for what I believe in,
Yeah.
And I thank them 100%. And I love the Gracie Academy and the Black Belt Surfing family,
Well, you're such a great example for everybody, man, for your attitude, for your dedication, your hard work, and that it's taken you places. So I applaud you, much respect, and good luck. We'll be following you. You already have a lot of fans, and we'll be following you as you move through your journey and continue it. Thanks so much for your time, buddy.
No, thank you, bro. Appreciate it.
Okay, great interview with Brian T. City Ortega. Really enjoyed doing that, and wanted to comment on just how accommodating and gracious Brian was in doing that interview. I asked him at the camp if he would mind doing the interview, and right away he said he'd be glad to do it. So on the last day of the camp, even with all the other things he had going on, talking to several people, getting photographs, the group photographs, just being pulled in many directions, he was very willing to give me the time, and we basically went into an abandoned kitchen, a kitchen that's in another room of the building the camp is in, and it wasn't being used. So we went in there, found a table, and just did it there. You can even hear the ice machine going in the background in the interview. So again, very great attitude and very accommodating, and really appreciate it. Can't say enough about him. Thanks a lot, Brian T. City Ortega. Okay, time for our Make a Difference, Make an Impact segment. Today I'd like to talk about perception and the way we view things. I'll probably do some more talks on this later because I think it's very important. It can really help the quality of our lives the more we delve into this and the more we remember it. So the way we see or view any particular situation determines our experience, our overall experience in that situation. You may have heard it said that it's not the event, but our interpretation of the event that determines our experience. So that's just another way of stating this. So we all have experiences that we don't like, we find not enjoyable. I'd like for you to consider the following 3 questions from now on in a situation. When you find yourself in a situation that you're not crazy about, a negative situation. The first question is, how else can I see or view this situation? And with all 3 of these, whenever you ask, if you hear that little voice inside of you say, there is no other way, I can't, then just re-ask the question by saying to yourself, if I wanted to, how else could I see or view the situation? And that causes a subtle shift to occur, and your mind kind of opens up to the possibility of seeing it differently. And if you're able to make that shift and see things even just a little bit differently, it can have a profound effect on that overall experience for you. Again, I'll get into that more later at another time. Just want to kind of set these ideas in place for you. The second question is, what's funny about this? And again, if you hear that voice inside say nothing, just say, if I wanted to find something funny about this situation, what could it be? You've heard the old expression, someday we'll look back on this and laugh. And if that's true, why not just go ahead and laugh about it now? And sometimes it won't be possible to do this, but more often than not, I found when I employ this, I am able to kind of find something humorous about it. If not, at least 1 out of the 3, if not all 3 of these, usually I'm able to get something out of by asking those questions. The last question is, what can I learn from this? And again, if you hear that voice giving you resistance, just say, if I wanted to, what could I learn from this? If you can learn one thing from a situation, from a negative situation, you immediately are able to make that somewhat of a positive situation. It's a growing experience. So try using these 3 questions, and like I said, at least one, if not 3, will many times allow you to subtly shift how you experience that situation. And if you can learn to cultivate this, it really can be empowering, and you can cultivate it to the point of, in almost every situation you encounter, a negative situation, you're able to reframe it, see it, experience it differently, and go forward with a renewed outlook. So going forward during your day, week, and month, I encourage you to keep these 3 questions in mind, and anytime you're encountering a negative situation, go ahead and pull them out, try to use them, and see how it goes for you. Okay, that includes this episode of the show. Again, thank you so much for listening. I've been getting great feedback. I'm very open to your feedback, as I've stated before, on what you'd like to see with the show. I also like to hear what you are enjoying, as well as what maybe you're not crazy about, or what you'd like to see happen on the show. Again, like us on Facebook, and as always, you can leave a comment on the website, www.graciejujitsurocks.com, or on iTunes. And don't forget to subscribe on iTunes. Thanks again for listening. Again, this is Marty Josie, and I'll see you on the mat.